Go ahead, Mary.
On our website, on the main menu on top, it says calendar. And we'd like to be able to click on that and go directly to the web page. It has our calendar on it. So when you click on calendar, it goes to another web page, and then you have to click there.
Okay. So we want to remove that middle page.
Yeah.
Is
Is there a way to go?
And sorry about the view here. My profile shows it a little messed up. Just gonna masquerade. All right, that looks more like it. So the calendar, when you click on just calendar, this is where you want to remove this middle step.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is something I think only the MyLO team can help with. I don't think that webmasters have the ability to do this. Just one warning before you do this, it already looks like you're not using the built-in MyLO calendar. So that's the only warning that we give. When we create this redirect, you're no longer going to be able to access this calendar view. So when you create MyLO events, you know, they'll fill into this default MyLO calendar. But since you're not already using it, you probably aren't going to miss it too much. So that is something that I can actually do. I'll do that after our session. Just trying to find something to write with, since I do have to go into the back end as an admin. But
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. So a calendar redirect, and that is, I'm assuming, to this link here, the Spokane calendar. Okay. All right.
Anne-Maurice?
Yeah.
Mary Jo, so that page that you're showing right now, it kind of looks like what somebody might see on the members only page.
Kind of similar. So even if I pop over to their members only, you see a heading at the top and then kind of a description. And then depending on the type of content, if I was logged in as a member and they did have content, I would see it there. But yeah, the calendar, the action alerts and the articles and positions, they all have a similar like heading style at the top, where you have that, you know, the title, whatever the description or league header is for that specific view, and then the specific lists for either the subscribed or their own.
Do you think that some leagues might have, okay, here's our league specific calendar, and then maybe they might have something in the metro area? I mean, what was that page used for that you're going to get rid of?
That was for the calendar altogether. So even if Spokane area is subscribed to other leagues events, they would come all together on a calendar. So that's the difference with the calendar and, let's say, action alerts or articles. With the action alerts and articles, you have the two separate lists, one for your own and one for whichever leagues you're subscribed to. But then here on the calendar, it's going to mash them all together. So Spokane events will be mixed in with Washington State events, whoever they're subscribed to, if that makes sense.
So would we have had this page when we first started and you just got rid of it?
This is probably a page that you do have. I would imagine that you're probably still working with it, but it is a page that you start out with. That's one of the main pages, and you are making use of that. So this is the same page, and we're just seeing it differently because you have content here.
Oh, okay. And of course, this is, yeah, typically I'm looking at the front page and that's where we have a lot of stuff, but yeah, okay. Oh, I see. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is just where all of your events gather. So
Oh.
whether they're your own events or your subscribed events, they all list here. And then once they are in the past, then they're available here.
So for Spokane, then I guess I'm a little confused.
They haven't created any events. So since there isn't any content to show, it just shows up, there are currently no upcoming events posted. Please check back soon. There were past events, so we at least, get that button. But as far as what is upcoming, they're not using that for the future. So that's the reason why we see it.
Oh, you mean they're never going to use it?
Instead, they're using, is it a Google Calendar?
All right. Okay. Got it.
Or no?
I got it.
Yeah, nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, so it all depends on the content that is within the site. So since you have events upcoming, that's why they're showing up.
So, no, thank you. My question's basic. So the last session was really helpful. You showed us how to influence the hierarchy of the elements that are on the homepage. And I wanted then to apply it, and I couldn't figure out in the editing. So I think, and I went to several of these attendees' wonderful sites and got intrigued. Dearborn, beautiful. And I think Liz, your Wheaton is on the purple format, so I couldn't use it. I really was inspired, but I was trying to introduce, I guess we called it formatting and hierarchy, where it has a border. And our homepage is just static. And I think what I have to do is go to the editing portion, which says embed code, or I could not figure out how to apply where say right now we have a candidate forum and we just have a link, and I wanted to actually apply what you taught us last time, and I just couldn't figure out how to activate it. So
okay, let me see
I
if
don't want to slow down the group, but it was just
no, not at all.
I think it's in the editing when you do new draft. It's a different section and I had never used it, and I need to use that. So
Okay, so I am a little confused on what it is the task is. So are
Okay,
you
so the
trying
task
to
would be- I was
reorganize the
trying to get
front
it-
page?
yeah, I was trying to get it that it looked good, where I think you called it like it has a border. And right now,
Highlight it. That's highlighting.
These ones here where it has the unhighlight and highlight, where we have
Yeah.
the golden border around. Okay.
yeah. So like right now, we have just a candidate forum where we just show the link. But Dearborn has this beautiful, candidate forum. So that's what I was never
It's
able
so
to.
easy to use. She's going to show you. It's embedded.
All right.
It has to be a YouTube video though, I think.
Yeah.
Okay,
and
so I'm just gonna reference again their homepage. Is it a YouTube video in the
anything
summary?
like that where it just borders and it's freestanding, so it's not just part of a paragraph, I guess.
Oh,
Like that. Yeah. See, that's beautiful.
Okay, so are you referring about this part down here?
Well, actually, the
Wow.
whole
Just the
where it has a
entire,
golden border. I
Okay.
mean, if you went to our homepage, you'll see it's all part of one paragraph, and I'm trying to section it off more and that's what you showed us, was how to influence the hierarchy of what comes first, and I couldn't even apply it. So
I
sorry.
see. Okay, I
Well,
think
yeah, because
Yeah.
each of these things that she has on her site are either events, or you have to make an event with all that information. Are you
these are
making
actually
just,
articles.
these are, well,
that might be the
articles?
starting point. It sounds like you might just be working on the homepage and adding text there. That
Yeah.
if that's the case, that's up here where the homepage doesn't
Yes.
have the same highlight capability
Exactly.
as the list below. Okay.
Okay.
So-
Thank you.
Yeah, so then each chunk of, text that you're adding, then like Liz said, you'd want to come over to your administrator lead
Yeah,
menu and
right.
either add an article, a page, an event, an action
Oh.
alert, whatever type that best fits whatever you're making. If you can't
Okay.
decide, then a page is always best to default with.
Okay.
Do you
Um,
have anything on your calendar yet?
Well, myself, we could use like a candidate forum that right now is on our homepage. We have links to candidate forums that have occurred that we'd like more prominence the way it looks there. So I guess I could just translate add event and then create an event. And then the next question would be just, how do you get it promoted to the front page or the homepage?
And I used article.
And
Okay.
yeah, Eileen, I think since it's a past event, you have a couple of options. You can still go with creating an event. The only kind of downside to that is that it won't show up on your calendar since it's a past event.
Okay.
But you can create an article that references that it was an event in the past and, you know, still share all the same information. But let's just I'm going to add a new article to my demo site here and just go through all the steps of promoting it.
Why don't you work on her site?
No, that's all right. No, thank you. Thank you,
Okay.
fellow Wellesley sister. Just remember, we went to the same college.
That is awesome.
I mean, I think I'll follow it. So, because it was,
Yeah, it is the just the basic steps that you need to follow. So
okay.
the article, you'll choose a type, and it does kind of change your additional details as you change those around. For everything else, I'm just going to leave it blank for now, since
Yeah,
this is just
okay.
a test. So let's go ahead and publish this.
Okay.
And you won't have to worry about choosing a league since you're only belonging to one league. Oh, and I totally forgot to promote it. So
Yeah.
you could do this all in one go, but before you save down where I
Yeah.
had the publishing options, I'm just going to jump down there. So here, check the box for promote to front
Oh,
page.
got it. Okay. So that's how it does it. Okay.
Mhm. And there's another way too. From manage content, you can manipulate one or more. So jumping over to manage content, I can use the little check boxes.
Yeah, that's what we were in last time. Okay.
Okay, yeah, and then
Yeah.
this is where you can promote to front page,
Okay.
do multiple different operations.
Excellent. Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
All right. Yeah, I was all excited after the session and then I was kind of without any means of speaking. So thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
Does she want to know how to embed the video? Or do you know how to do that?
Well, we had a vote for one button on our sidebar and I liked, maybe it was Dearborn, you had a YouTube video about vote 411. I thought that was good too.
Well, you were talking about candidates forum, so I thought maybe you were talking about a
Oh,
recording.
embed the YouTube, right. That's
Yeah.
true.
Do you know
Okay.
how to do that? It's really easy.
No,
Good to know. Let's go over that. And this is good for anywhere that you want to add a YouTube video, whether it's in your sidebar, it's in the body of a page, or wherever. The only places a YouTube video won't work is in the slideshow. But let's just work with the homepage here. And so you do need to have the YouTube link available. So
and that would be in the media library probably, or no?
you just finding it, it would be a youtube.com link.
Okay, but just copy. All right.
Copying that link. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, the way you showed us was if you right click, well, you're gonna do it now.
Oh
okay.
yeah. So there's two different ways. I did show this way of with the embed code. I think actually since that we've been able to fix the media library way, because we do have another method through the media library, but it was giving us some issue a while back. So let's show off both. So when you open up a YouTube video, I don't know if you want to allow me to pull up that info. There we go. Okay. Sorry. Pause. Okay. So I'm right clicking on the video itself, right on top of the video. And the second option there is copy embed code. So that's immediately copied to my clipboard. Another option for copying the embed code is to click the share button down under the video. And then there's, again, the button for embed. This additional option, I thought it allowed, I guess not. It usually has an option for you to choose the start time, so that, let's say, you know, a regular generic YouTube link to a video is going to start the video at the very beginning. But it usually has an option to start it at, you know, a custom time. Let me see if, I'm gonna just work with one of ours.
Yeah, you can always add the start time afterwards. You know,
Into the code.
yes.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with that. So if you know that, Maddie, we could even go over that. Oh, here it is. So it's before you click the embed button. So it gives you the option of wherever you pause the video. So I had it playing about 4 seconds in, and then I click the share button. So, you know, place the start at wherever you want your start time to be. You click the share button and you enable that. That URL changes and it's still going to use that specific URL. Oh, actually, okay, yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So it does give you the option on the second page, but you do have to click it on the first page. So that's helpful. This embed code is helpful if you want it to start at a specific time. But since we have the media library way, and again, I said I was going to show both. So I'll do the media library way first, and then we'll embed it. So again, I just right clicked and I copied the video URL. Either right click and select that option, or again, click share, and we can copy from there. Going back to my editing page, I just have my cursor placed where I want the YouTube video to drop into, and I'm opening up the media browser. Since this is not a file from my computer, I'm going to choose web.
Okay.
And this allows me to upload YouTube or Vimeo videos.
With the link. Okay, great.
With a link, yeah. So I'm pasting in what I had. Hopefully that's the correct one. Let me make sure I copied. Yeah, okay, that is the correct one. Alrighty. So once I go next, the information is being pulled from the YouTube video. So it was titled MyLO Office Hours, June 3rd, 2022. I don't need to express permission because it's technically still owned and operated through YouTube. So just out of the courtesy, I can add additional tags and things, but with a YouTube video, they aren't required when you're adding it to the media library. And once you save and submit, then we see it as like a picture. So it looks like a screenshot of the start. But once we save it, then we're going to see the YouTube functions overlay on top of it.
Okay.
And I'm just going to publish it for the fun of it. And there we are.
Great. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you, dear board. Okay.
Well, Anne-Maurice,
Mhm.
is there some advantage to taking the time to put it in the media library as opposed to just right clipping and getting the embed code and sticking it in the embed
It is.
place?
It's not so much an advantage. I guess it's if everybody finds it easier, then that is really the difference. The other difference too is that if you do upload it to the media library, then other folks are able to just click to choose it to use it as well, just like you would a picture in the media library.
Right, no, I understand, but yeah,
So
in this
yeah,
case,
it's not really too much of an advantage, but it's
okay.
a little bit easier, especially if someone doesn't have the experience with embed code.
Well, why don't you, can you just show her?
Oh,
where
yes.
you put it? I mean, to me, it's so much easier.
Yes, I forgot that I didn't go do that.
If I can do it, it's easy.
Let's do that. So this time so what we could do is if I wanted to add the YouTube video at the bottom of this, I could very well switch my body paragraph to full HTML and just know that I can add it at the end there. But it is easier to work with this section, body with embedded code,
Yes.
especially since I know it's gonna be under this stuff in the body here. So I'm gonna add a third-party embed code box. And once this pops up, it has, this sentence already. So we need to replace that with our embed code. So I'm gonna come back over to the YouTube video and let's do the share button. I'm gonna see about starting at a specific time, because we didn't test that earlier. And I click embed. And again, choose to start it at a specific time. So I can copy all of this.
Oh, wow.
And once I come back over,
Got it. Yeah.
and I paste that in.
Yeah, that's interesting. I would have been thinking embedding code. I don't know that. So that's why I tend to go to the media library, but that was very easy. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
even, I mean, I when I get the video, somebody else is already worried about the time and stuff. So I literally, do my stuff in the, what do you call, the text file up there. And then I, skip a line and then I go down to the embed, body with embed code,
Mhm.
stick it in and I'm done.
Yeah, especially, like you said, if you don't have to worry about tweaking the start time or anything,
Right,
you
right,
just
right.
right click the video, you copy embed code and
Wow.
then
Okay.
pop back over and it's the exact same thing that I just copied. Well, it changed the time of it, but that's fine.
But you can
That's all
al-
you need.
You can also manipulate the width and height when you
Mhm.
have the embed code, because you might not want to have that big a,
That's a little, sometimes I have trouble with that. Yeah, but I don't, but you're saying you can do it within all this stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, what we
Yeah.
can try too is instead of just digits, numbers like this, counting numbers, we could try percentages. But yeah, that you're able to manipulate the
Oh, I
width and
see.
height.
Oh, I
I'm
see.
gonna
Okay.
see if we try percentages, but with the uploading to the media library, you're not able to.
Mm.
Actually, 100 might be a little too much since it's probably gonna look like a big square. I'm not too sure. I'm just playing around there, but yeah, that's very easy to work with when YouTube just gives it to us exactly how we need. Let's check that out. So it might look a little crazy. I think I have both videos still. Okay.
but
I
one
did.
of the, I don't think it's a good idea to have a different percentage. You keep the aspect ratio the same. I
Well,
would
as far as 100% in both, or see, that's where
Or
I'd have to
50.
figure.
50% in both. Because it's 50% of those values you have, like
The original
it was
numbers.
1280 and whatever it was.
Okay, let's try keeping them even. So let's do 50%.
I don't know why yours is doing that. Mine's never looked like that.
And would you have them in percentages as well?
Yeah, I have them in percentages, and I keep the code around I just keep the code around in a separate file for myself, and I can just explicitly put the path. All I have to do is change the path, you know, to the YouTube video. And then I have a nice size that I like.
I see. Well, I wonder, I'm gonna just copy it again. And maybe I leave the height alone because that is definitely a
You don't
little
want it.
too
Yeah.
short. So,
Yeah, I think those portions are helpful too when you're using a mobile device, because, you know, when we're doing everything for our laptop or desktop, sometimes it doesn't translate well to a phone or something like that. So I think percentages is a good idea.
yeah, that's definitely true. It responds to the screen rather than staying in one static size with the pixels.
Yeah, well,
Oh, that definitely did something, but not. I think I need to maybe take that on as a lesson to learn how to mess with those and manipulate those, because that would be really nice. And Liz, maybe if I could get that.
Well, I have a page that I have a whole bunch of them on. If I'll put it in the chat.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, in case anybody's working with embed code that you want to resize your, video. I think that'll be
I
helpful.
was trying to go back to it and see my code, but
So I'll leave that out for now. Okay, so while we'll come back around to that one. Does anybody have any other questions?
Well, this is Mary Jo. So I have no idea if this has anything to do with the website, but I went on to our Gmail to get the link for the session. And Jennifer probably saw this too, where it's something from IOSIS. And it's talking about, we are disabling unencrypted TLS 1.0 and
That, no, that has to do with vote 411
oh,
LWVDH.
oh, okay. Okay, so
Yeah.
you're taking
And
care
we're
of it.
fine. Yeah.
Okay,
Good to hear.
Sorry, I was stopping you, but yeah.
no, that's perfect. Thank you.
So I have a question about invoices
Mhm.
for our website. Are those coming out soon? Is this the time of year?
It does depend on the renewal time per
yeah,
league.
okay.
But we do have a lot of leagues that renew this month and next. So you may be part of that. And I will say that we are also working on getting an update out to folks so that you are going to be more familiar with our billing process, and you'll be able to just easily ask us when your exact renewal date is. As far as like a quick thing on our process is that we do usually send out the notice a month prior to your renewal date. But for folks that are renewing in July, we did hold off on sending those until the 1st of July, since it was the new fiscal year. So those July renewal folks didn't receive it until the month of. But I can see if you want a quick idea of it, I can also look it up. Was that Deborah who had asked?
It was. So if I go back, I think I should be able to find my old invoice, and that gives you your renewal date.
I'm going to take a look for you.
Okay. All right. So I'm in Perrysburg, Ohio.
All right, here we go. So it looks like September is your renewal month.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, so we'll be getting that information out to you guys soon, because I'm just now seeing that all of your renewal dates are listed. So I can share that with y'all soon.
So you're showing my page. I
Oh.
actually looked at the code. I actually use smaller absolute numbers. So if you scroll down, there are menus of these. So because these are old programs that we have. So I didn't use percentage. I'm sorry, I didn't.
Okay.
But I got a nice size so that it isn't, I can put a lot of them on a page.
This is now reminding me, I recall us talking about this once. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a really nice size, especially for what you're saying, Liz, that it's like the past parts of the series, and then you're able to highlight one at the top. Let me go ahead
Do you
and
know what size that is? Because that is really nice, like about 1
the
inch.
smaller ones. Yeah, let me go ahead and inspect, and I can tell you the pixel size. For folks who haven't used inspect or aren't familiar with it, I just right clicked and chose inspect from the menu, and then it gives me options to see a responsive screen based on like the device choices. If I choose responsive, that's just like my computer, desktop, but then I can choose like mobile devices for my screen to appear as. So I'm going to select this little option, and it allows me to click on an item on the screen so I can see its HTML. So we want to click on the YouTube video. I'm sorry, things are a little small on my screen.
Let's get my glasses.
You know what? It might be easier if I just check the actual, log into or do a new draft. Because it's a lot of code. Let's close this up. And I'm just going to go in as an admin just so that we can quickly see those numbers. All right. So sorry that it'll look different. It already looks different. The purple and gold doesn't like my login, my A LeBron login. For some reason, I don't get to see purple and gold sites, but that is totally fine. So, okay, that was probably the top one. So this is the size that we're looking for. I'm going to drop it into the chat. The width is 280 and the height is 157 for those smaller videos. Pop back out. And I'm assuming, Liz, the top video was just as it comes.
I think so, but gosh, I was just looking at it.
I can go back there.
I did a little playing around till I got it the way I wanted it.
Yeah, I think the default width was something 1270 or 1280. So if it's different from that, you probably did tweak it a bit. Okay, it looks like you might have cut it in half, about.
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that. I'll drop that in as well. So that's for the bigger video. When it comes to regular, yeah, so this is the width of a default video.
Well, I think it was Maddie who was suggesting I probably should have done more with the phone. Made sure it looked okay with the phone.
Oh, I see. Yeah. That's always a good idea. And we could even try again with inspect. It gives you a rough idea. It is probably always best to just check it live, especially when you just have your device on you. But when you go to inspect, you can choose, different small mobile devices or larger ones like iPads. It also gives you the option to rotate it so you could see it on its side. I think it looks pretty good. I mean, for it being landscape, that looks perfect. And I would imagine an iPad is just going to look even better. Yeah. But also I know that my screen is not exactly how your site looks since it's showing up for me in red and blue.
Oh,
Maurice,
Yeah.
just curious, what's the kind of the percentage of red and blue sites versus the purple and gold sites?
I am not entirely sure. I did try and keep a number of that just so that we would have an idea. We don't get notified when leagues are swapping themes. So this is probably a pretty outdated list. But we had about 59 leagues. And you know, we've had folks add to that or be removed as well. So that was about a couple of years ago, I think the last count that we did. And we're about how many folks on MyLO? I would say we probably have about 50 something customers that are using either the top site and or just the purple and gold. And we have about 180 customers. So it's about a good third of our customers that are using either just the purple and gold theme or a combination of that and the top menu.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. And I know I had said that, you know, I could easily find, why don't we do that now? Since I'm logged in as an admin, I'm just going to do it here on the side. I think actually just a rough count would be of the folks that are using just the top menu. Here we go. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Yeah, about half of that number. So about 25 to 30 are using just the top menu.
Okay,
When you say the top menu, is that the red and blue or?
It's the purple and gold. So
Purple and gold. Okay.
let me log. Yeah, so we have actually.
Because the nav bar is on the top, right?
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
What
So
bar
of
is on
those,
the top?
the menu it
Or,
displays across the top.
Versus the red and blue, it's on the side.
So,
Just like
So-
your site, Mary Jo.
yeah, so we must be using the top and the go, yeah. So, yeah, we had to, you know, figure out what we wanted to do, and it was, yeah, we kind of went back and forth. And because at first we thought, well, you know, the red and the blue, it's kind of more leaguish colors, you know, but we really liked the look of the gold in purple, you know, just aesthetically. So,
but the league but the National League is why we went to the gold and purple.
and so maybe that was part of it too. I don't remember. Yeah, that would probably was part of it too.
that was our thought too, that it looked a lot, the navigation was similar to the national website. And we liked the amount of room that the top navigation bar gives you, so that you can use your side for like a Twitter feed or the Vote 411 little embed thing. Oh, what do you call that?
The widget.
The widget. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, the widget. So.
Well, we still repeat the menu on the left. So for a couple things, you got, I guess, a couple places to go because people are used to looking at different things. Yeah.
Yeah, that is always, it's always a good idea. No one is ever going to be upset that they're finding things in more than one place, you know, you're making things too convenient. I don't think that's ever been said.
When people start though, when you're advising them from the start with their websites, do you advise them to use one or the other, or not?
Not typically. I guess if we ever do, it is kind of just based on just a suggestion of ours. I can only think back on one league that I had started out with a purple and gold theme without their request. So it doesn't happen often because it takes the work to do it. And if the league is not requesting it themselves, there's a big chance that they won't like it or that they'll want to go back. So we save it until folks, you know, let us know. So typically we turn in sites with just the default design 3 with the red and blue side menu.
Are there technical advantages or disadvantages to using the purple and gold? I don't remember. Or is
No, they're as far as the side menu option for either the red and blue theme or the purple and gold theme, pretty much everything is the same as far as like how the layout looks. Like those things are exactly the same. You're still going to have your call outs. The way your menu shows up is still going to be the same, even when navigating through it. The you know, highlight box and sticky box does appear for both themes. The only differences come in once you have the top menu, because then your menu functionality changes and your sidebar goes up.
How about the sub-menus, the hierarchy?
So the menu display changes, not only being across the top, but as you're going and navigating through the menu, you're seeing the menu on the side.
But you can also see on the top what's underneath there.
Right.
You know, I think more than the red and blue one.
Oh, true. Yeah. So you are able to hover to reveal the menu. And with the sidebar menu, that is not an option. Good point.
You know, we have the red and blue, we've always had it, but one of the things that I like the look of it, but one thing I don't like about it is, again, that you on the side takes a lot of space. And then also at the very top, and I'm not sure how the gold and purple one is, but so you've got the slideshow and this big wide menu, and people have to click down to see anything that I've put on there. All they see when they first open it is the slideshow and this big wide menu on the left. So, you know, I've kind of been thinking about maybe switching and, you know, rearranging it so that I can highlight the things that I'm putting on the
Yeah.
page a little more.
Well, that
Having them at the bottom.
Yeah, the option with the side menu is to have them expanded in a static way rather than being able to hover to reveal them. So that would be the only kind of remedy there when it comes to the side menu. But yeah,
But
if you are interested in trying out the top menu, just reach out, let me know, and we can make that happen.
But you have to, it takes some time though to reorganize your content.
A
You
little
have
bit,
to
yeah.
think it through, how you want to make the transformation.
Because Dearborn was a red and blue, I started to look at other sites and no, you're not red and blue, aren't you, Mary Jo?
They are the purple and gold.
Oh, okay. Well, then it doesn't apply. Yeah, because I noticed how dynamic their front page looked. That's what, okay.
You know, I was just thinking that, see, we never had, what did you call it? Was it Easy Web? Whatever
Oh,
you had.
League Easy Web.
League Easy
before.
Web. We never had that. So I suspect that many people, you know, transferring to the new version were thinking, well, you know, we don't want to make it too different because we don't want to confuse our users. I'm just guessing. I have no idea.
I do believe that there was some idea of that, because it wasn't created too long after League Easy Web. You know, League Easy Web was still in operation, and MyLO was starting to be developed. So there was a big migration of existing customers, and so they were in mind, I think, with the creators of MyLO.
Got it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm looking at this. How do you get the donate and join buttons in the top banner?
Those are done, those are added to the theme. So those are done by our developer team. They are, you know, hard set into the theme. So whenever you use the purple and gold theme, they pop up, and they're just like the, let's see, I don't have, oh, no, I don't have an example of the red donate button, but if you have a,
Yeah, ours is on the side.
yeah, if you have a red site,
Below the menu. So you have
Yeah.
to go all the way past the entire menu on the side before you get to. any
Yeah.
buttons.
so just like the functionality of this button, it is the same as the donate and join. These are automatically connected to the donate button. I mean, they're to the donate page. And then this is connected to the join page. And by donate page and join page, I mean the page that you have titled donate, the page you have titled join. If you have more than one page titled donate, then it's going to be the first original one that you created, the oldest one. So I think we had talked about how to change these. Does anybody want to see that? Because I think our last attempt was pretty unsuccessful.
You know, I just want to say, I went ahead and rearranged our side menu to put join or renew and donate at the very top of the side menu, so that it is something that people see without having to click down.
Nice.
And I guess I was wrong. We don't have the menu on top. I knew there was something on top there, but so I guess we don't have
I
that.
thought, yeah, I thought you had the menu on top too.
But
Yeah.
you're purple and gold, but you have a left nav bar, right? Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
It must have been, I knew there was something there, but it was the join and the donate.
yeah, no, that's why I put you in my category, because it was the left nav bar. Okay. Yeah.
While we're on LWVDDH site, how many slides in
Uh-oh.
slideshow do you think is reasonable to have?
That's a hard question, because I think you could probably go pretty high before. I mean, the reason, or the question of it being reasonable is probably more dependent on you and what you want to deal with. You know what I mean? I think that to the viewer, it is not going to phase them. You know, unless they saw something at the beginning and they're just waiting for it to come back, and it's just, you know, never going to happen. I don't think that that's as huge of a deal as you having to wade through 90 slides and figure out which ones you need to remove. I would say it's probably a decision that you probably best want to make. But
You said-
any folks want to
The
chime in?
reason I wondered is I thought maybe the ones at the end are not getting viewed at all.
Well, but you know what? If I look at it on Monday, I'm always going to see vote 411 because we have it fixed, so it's the first one. But then you'll see a few. But if I go on Tuesday, I guess I'll still, well, oh, I see what you're saying.
You'll still see.
I'll
what
still see the
411.
same few. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you never get to the end.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Or
that was
zero.
my concern. As you
Okay.
can tell, Mary Jo and I worked on that lately.
Well, but as you can see though, you know, to my defense, half of them, or at least a third, are related to this upcoming election.
Yeah.
So we'll go to the view content, and we'll unedit it or whatever until it's time, till 45 days before, the November election. So
Nice.
we have a
Yeah.
little rest.
Well, you have a lot of really good information in
Yeah.
the slideshow. I'm going to look at it more carefully
Thank
No.
you.
and copy some of your ideas.
No,
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 I
no,
think it's really good.
Oh, there's
Yeah.
there's a lot of really good information. I was just worried people wouldn't see it.
Well, but that's all in the beginning, all the voting stuff. But we have a wonderful organization called MichiganVoting.org.
Yeah.
And they're the ones that give us a lot of stuff. But sometimes I can use it because it fits the slideshow, and sometimes I cannot. And so those all, well, they probably would end up as an article anyway, because no problem using those graphics.
Mhm.
But Jennifer, I used the Secretary of State one the other day, and it worked perfectly. So I don't know.
That's always nice though, when you can just drop it in and you're kind of just done there. I was also thinking too, if there are any like key slideshow items that you want to highlight, you can always use sticky and have those sit at the front of your list for however long you like. You can unstick them, whenever you want to just highlight your usual ones. But that is an option if you want to, make sure that some that you feel are hidden can be seen. Yeah, Maddie.
When you make it sticky, if you
So
made
the-
like,
So I'm just wondering, when you say make it sticky, you can do that in the slideshow and make them show up first in the slideshow, or are you talking about sticky, at the top of the list of things that are below the main?
I'm
tab
talking about the slideshow. Yeah. In MyLO,
in both places. I mean,
when it comes to the front page, sticky has been replaced with highlight. So if you make things sticky and you promote it to the front page, you aren't going to see the sticky effect on the front page. You will need to still highlight it if you want to see it, with the outline and see it move up or down your list. But sticky for any other list, like your calendar, your articles, your slideshow, any other list, it is going to make it, take the top priority spot in the list.
I also have a question for Mary Jo. In your slideshow, are you putting links to the associated things onto your slideshow items?
Say it again, because something was messed up. Say it again.
So I was just wondering, you have all those wonderful events and informational slides in your slideshow.
Yeah.
You have them set up so that if they click on that slide, it takes them to,
Well, the promote the vote, that's an example of it. Yeah, I don't have it on everything, but promote the vote, I wanted to make sure they could get to it. So that's one, yeah.
it's right there on the
In
slide.
Michigan, Michigan voting, or whatever it is, I have it for that too. And I don't think, it doesn't look like I did it for that one. I should have.
Yeah, because I find it's, especially since the slideshow is the first thing that people see.
Yeah, no,
That's a good way to
yeah,
put it there, and it looked like you might have done that, so I just wanted to.
a couple of them, yeah. But so I haven't still looked at it, Jennifer, but Jennifer told me that you went over an easier way to prioritize the slideshow, because I know how to make the first one sticky. And then I thought a while ago, you told us, Amaris, that to sort of get them in order, you'd have to, I don't know, fool around with the dates or something.
Mhm.
But Jennifer said that you showed us an easier way to do it.
Events, right?
except it, because we had so many. I ended up changing all the dates.
You did? Oh my God.
Uh-huh.
Oh, so I thought there was an easier way to do it now. That's because you tell me watch the last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
unfortunately,
recording's not posted yet, just so you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I do.
No,
still
no,
need to
no.
go through the editing of
It
that.
was hanging till
But
this
to
session.
confirm, it's not giving us another way to do it. It's still talking about the dates.
Correct. For the
Oh, okay.
slideshow.
Okay.
Except the sticky was something new for me.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
But my idea,
Well, I thought you could only
If
do
you-
one
if you have-
sticky.
You can do many sticky. It's just, if you do many of them sticky, then you're kind of creating a new group of ordering, they're kind of following their own 1, 2, 3. And then
Okay.
anybody outside or any items outside the sticky, they are then starting over 1, 2, 3 rather
that's
than
what-
following after.
And that's what you explained in the video that we haven't seen yet? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so
And-
it was pretty much the same process, but we took a longer time of showing examples on it.
So if you make, say, 3 things sticky, does it decide based on date which one comes first? And
Yeah,
is it the oldest date or the newest date that comes first?
it is the newest date that comes
Newest
first.
date, okay.
And so then at that point, if they're still not in the exact order you want them, then you manually change the date to newest first, whichever one you want to see first.
Okay.
It would be nice if we could, like you can figure out how you want to display on the front page, how you have that, I forget what it is called, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
It's
it
so
would
nice.
definitely,
Yeah, it would be so nice if you could do that with the slideshow.
it would be lovely. That is on our
It'd
dream
be
list.
Lovely.
But we definitely, had to compromise a little bit with in the last session that we're talking about. Liz had brought up the idea of having the creation date on the manage content list. And so I think that I can reasonably swing to our developer team and to our budget.
Well, because I was thinking, because during working with Jennifer on this, I think I went to the manage content thing and, I limited it to the slideshow. And then you've got a lot of yes and no's. And then, but there's things you can click on the side to the left. And so then I was thinking, oh, wouldn't it be nice if you could just, like this and just like number them or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I just ordered them alphabetic or, I ordered them by yes, no.
Yeah, so it isn't unfortunately something that can be done right now. We know that, if the money comes, that would be on the list. But yeah, for now, that is manipulated through the creation date or through making things sticky. You might be able to, just get away with it, the reordering by making things sticky, and save yourself the trouble of going through and editing each.
And then on your wanted list, do we still have the thing about not using the white banner?
Yes. I will say that we are slow moving on those at the moment, but we do still have that one.
Yeah.
And I will check in. And that's for the slideshow title, right?
Yeah, it's not a big deal because it obliterates some needed information on the slide. So what I did on the last one, I think it was from the Secretary of State that I had no issue with the size. It was covering up, a line. So I just made the title whatever was on that line.
I think that's the next best solution.
Are there any other changes coming up before the midterms?
Yes. I don't want to say too much, but yes, there is something that we are working on and we're hoping to have that done soon. It shouldn't take too much longer, and it is going to be content that we're going to be seeing across our sites. So that is soon to come, and I will be excited to announce it in our Google group once it's up and ready.
And when you say content, we're all going to get the same thing, which was, as you know, one of the reasons we joined or thought that it'd be good because we weren't all inventing everything ourselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So
The integration in this group is really good, and the technical support is really great. One one of our delegates came back from National Convention, and they mentioned this ClubExpress that they were, that they said the National was very excited about.
Mhm.
You know, we're very happy with MyLO, and we'd really rather not go to ClubExpress. But is that something that's being discussed, or how to integrate National and MyLO better, or are we all expected to go to ClubExpress? I don't know.
I don't know of really the big expectation around it. I know that it's really just National teaming. Their desire was to team with a web hosting company based on the needs that they saw in their across all local leagues and state leagues. So that's the main goal. So it isn't, you know, trying to squash anybody out or say, you know, you need to move to ClubExpress, but their goal was to kind of bring everything together. So you do have the benefit of having certain services through ClubExpress that you don't get the offer of through MyLO, but you do pay the price for those certain services. So like being able to be connected to the national database through your, let's say, membership form, that's an option that they have. But when it comes to if you wanted to have both services, that could be an option. So if you did want to still manage a MyLO site, but subscribe to ClubExpress for just a membership form, or for, I'm not sure exactly of their specific services, but I'm pretty sure you can piecemeal. So you don't have to go in with a web hosting service. You can have, I think, a single service like that. So let's say if you had a membership form through ClubExpress, it would be as if you were integrating like a PayPal payment page. You would either be provided a link to the membership form so that, you know, if somebody clicks join renew from your menu, it takes them to that ClubExpress page. Or another option would be maybe an embedded form. So just like you embed a PayPal button or you embed the Vote 411 widget, you would, you know, create your join renew page. And then on this page, we would embed the entire form. So you could add some text if you needed through the MyLO editing page, but your embedded form would be coming from ClubExpress and operated through ClubExpress. So I don't know the exact details. We haven't talked to a ClubExpress representative, but I am pretty sure, since they are, you know, a tech company like most others, and they provide services beyond just web hosting, we're pretty sure that they offer standalone services like that.
Okay.
After the national convention a couple of years ago, people came back with this ClubExpress thing, and I thought, oh my God, I'm gonna have to convert. And then it just petered away. It didn't, you know, that didn't become, so it may happen again that people just don't buy in.
Yeah. I
Well,
remember.
that's kind of the impression, because I thought the same thing. I'm like, oh my gosh, we only just got up and running with MyLO a couple of years ago, and it's working so smoothly now. And the last thing that I wanted to do is have to convert everything over to this ClubExpress. But what was not clear to me in anything was National's commitment or state's commitment to using ClubExpress. So a lot of the ClubExpress options, which might be interesting, the integration would not happen unless National and state are going to make a commitment to ClubExpress, which it didn't seem like they're going to. It just kind of seemed like maybe National was throwing out there that, hey, if you don't have a great website, or if you are looking for these services, here's a company you can call. It didn't seem to be a big recommendation or a push.
I see. Yeah, I mean,
I'm sorry, was there a table there at the convention?
there was for
So there
ClubExpress.
were salespeople?
There was, yeah.
Ah.
I found it a little funny. They were located, we were back to back. So I thought that was interesting. But yeah, I think that with national not having a ClubExpress site, I guess that might, give the impression of that kind of message that they're telling leagues rather than, this is what we use, you use it. They're saying, if you need something, we've looked at this and this is good type of thing. They've vetted it. I'm not too sure about the back end of their site. I would imagine they've probably integrated some stuff, but as far as using ClubExpress services, I don't know about that.
Did you talk to them at all when you were there? Did you?
I did not. I did not feel it in my heart to strike up a conversation with them.
Well, we consider our league considers the major advantage that you are part of the league and know how the league operates and know what's important for us to how to do things. I just can't imagine that we would get that service going to a third party, call center that doesn't even know who we are or what we do.
Yeah.
Well, they are up the road from where I live in Wheaton. I think they're in Schaumburg.
You could school them, Liz, on League.
Oh, make a little money.
There you go. You're
No,
their lead consultant.
Yeah, just to support that neutrality, I was in a session about the change in the membership before it was voted.
Mhm.
And then there was a person asking the question, and that's the first time I heard that term. She said, well, I imagine if we do this, you'll want us to all go to ClubExpress. And he disclaimed that immediately, or she disclaimed. She said, no, that's not part of the decision at all. So, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah,
Well,
that's good that they're not expecting that for
No,
all.
it was a really stopped it from, and I thought, I didn't even know it was a web hosting. Otherwise, I would have been up in arms too. So.
And I was just going to say that because the first time I heard about ClubExpress was in terms of membership maintenance. I
Pricing.
didn't even realize it had a website till a little bit later. But those of you who do membership will see that, that there is now a ClubExpress ID on the member roster, which I guess makes sense if people are using that. But they told us when they wanted everybody to pass the bylaw that, they have not chosen a company that, they won't be, but I mean, I don't know.
Right. Yeah. It was all decoupled from the decision. Yeah.
By the way, I made a note just real quick. I just want to say, I just discovered, and maybe I should have known, that most of the recordings of the sessions of the convention are all online.
Oh.
So what you do is you go to My League or whatever it is, League Management, and then just type in convention agenda. And then, it's an agenda all 4 days or 5 days. And you just keep clicking. And like I watched the 2 on ranked choice vote.
That was
voting.
good.
The only one that wasn't on there, and somebody from National actually provided me the link, was the one where they had the panel of women about democracy. And the I think it was maybe the first, I think the top one was maybe the agenda, but I wanted to watch that one panel because the Now president was on it. And I had just been to the Now conference. And so, she said, the president told me, oh, I was on a panel with the league, So that was she had to send me the link for the Facebook, but all the other ones, so I listened to all that stuff about the bylaws from that Saturday. Oh my God. Yeah. See, isn't that great?
Now, a lot of education on Robert's rules. So.
Yeah. But isn't it, here it is, watch, record. It's great.
Yeah, that's nice that they put them all up. And you can just find them in one central location.
And there's a lot of wonderful caucuses, I'm sure. It'd take forever to watch them. But they're ClubExpress roundtable.
One of those.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
Well, I hope we have the last laugh on the.
I
Yeah, I
hope
did
so
go to
too.
one of the Club Express ones, and one of their selling points was that several leagues are already on them. They know all about the league. I don't know how many several is.
Right.
I think the larger ones are, like, maybe it's probably California-ish. I don't know, I'm guessing.
I don't know how many California leagues we have on Club Express. I know that last summer was kind of the big migration that we saw, at least from MyLO to Club Express.
Oh,
We've had a migration of customers, canceling for any number of reason, just at a regular pace. But we did see the increase once Club Express kind of became more popular. I know that the entire state of Texas, I don't think that there are very many leagues. They are all on Club Express. So they wanted to take advantage of that, connectivity of all their levels being on Club Express. So if you guys ever wanted to know, they would be the state to talk to.
it'll be interesting to know, okay, so the bylaws barely passed that change, so they've got 2 years to figure it out.
Yeah.
So it will be interesting to see, because if National's going to take over all the membership, then I guess that means that the local ones won't be using Club Express. I really don't know. I mean, you still got to have your list. I don't know. It'll be interesting.
But yeah, the draw of that, centralized membership form, and it's really easy that Club Express is going to send your information up to where it needs to. I feel like that is the glitz of that, or like the allure of that, is not as important anymore if National is going to hold membership.
Right.
No, that's well said, Alex.
Well, that, and we get a lot of donations when we do our membership drive. Where are those gonna go?
And I won't bring it up this time, but maybe on a future one. I just wondered if there were other leagues that actually had a donate button right on their renewal page. And I don't know, maybe Jennifer knows how to put one on there, but the donations.
It's part of the renewal,
Is it on that page though?
On the join renew.
Because typically we will get money with checks for sure.
Yeah.
I apologize if it's on here and I didn't realize it.
No,
It's on the.
when you go to continue to pay, you
Oh,
can add
okay.
money.
Nice.
Well, but is it, I mean, can you just click something and, is it?
Is it this one
easy
here?
Yeah, that's the individual.
I'm
Well,
assuming maybe on the next page, you
Yeah.
might be able
Or
to
you can
add.
donate, when you're doing it, you can also donate it.
Yeah,
Well-
so it would unfortunately be a separate transaction.
Yes.
Just
Yeah,
because
that's what I'm saying. I think we need to have something that just makes it real obvious, because more and more people are doing it online. And, so that typically the donation comes like with a check. So we have $70 due, so people will write a $100 check.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree?
But they could do it on the donate and say half of it's, half of the check is for membership and the other half is donation.
Yeah, but we have to make it real tray easy for them, of course.
Right, donate, yeah.
I think
So-
we talked about this before, but I have the amount for the membership, and then I have a bunch of buttons you can choose to add $10, $25, a certain different amounts to your membership fee. So they're separate buttons.
Oh, so we could
That's
just
a good
have
idea.
one,
Yeah,
donation.
unfortunately, you have to go through filling out the membership form. So
oh,
you're not,
I see.
I don't know if you could.
Let me see
probably
if I can try and jump to the confirmation page. Okay, yeah. I'm not able to.
But you could put some garbage in there, fill out membership form.
Oh, I see. Let me try that again, actually. I'm going to try to jump to the confirmation page.
I know in our league, a lot of people complain about the fact that even if they're already members, they have to fill in everything.
Yeah, well, that's a failure here.
Well, I don't know if it's a failure because people change their, they might change their phone number or their email.
Yeah, some people like that,
Yeah,
actually.
And I will say too, you can get around that. I've seen one league have 2 separate forms. That might be a little too much, but if you wanted to just have one form, you can make use of the conditionals. And I'm not logged into my own site, but if you use conditionals, you can make it so that some are required depending on the situation. So let's say you have the first question of, are you a new member or a returning member? Once they check that they're a new member, then everything that needs to be required is required. If they're checking that they're a returning member, then everything except for probably their name is going to be optional. So you could have instruction there that says, if you are a returning member and you do have changes that you need to make, please do fill it out. Otherwise, we're not going to require you to, something like that. But that's an option there so that it makes your job a little easier, or the lives of the folks filling it out.
So what happens when it didn't look like you could submit it. What happened?
Oh, I did not submit it yet.
Oh,
Let me go ahead and submit. Okay,
So
I
it-
see. You have a separate confirmation page.
but then these memberships,
I see.
you can have different donation amounts with the memberships.
I
So
see.
they're
Smart.
separate buttons.
Oh.
So so you just have a certain number of options here, but
Wow.
it's not hard to do because
They're pretty easy to make,
yeah.
but that is a nice way of having it convenient for the user. And they say, oh, well, I might as well just, do both at once.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Can you do an other with those buttons?
With the buy now,
No,
I don't think you
okay.
could do an other, right?
No, not with this solution. This one just assumes a certain number of. PayPal is maybe more functional. I mean, more. Maybe you have more options now. When I put this together, it was several years ago. So, and once you get something working, you don't want to spend a lot of time changing it.
Right.
Ooh,
No,
I
I think the process is pretty similar because you are requiring, the person to purchase a certain amount because it's a membership. You do need to have the power to specify that amount without allowing them to change it. So
Right.
that's the reason why you're not allowing them to have an option of an other,
Yeah.
because then that other, you still need to specify it.
Right.
So
Yeah,
that's,
nice if you could put like the additional request for donation on the confirmation, when they do the submit.
Oh, I see. Yeah. And
I don't see. What did you say? I'm sorry.
I think what Maddie is getting to is, like if there was a question of on the form, I would like to include a donation in addition to my, form or whatever. That confirmation email, when you receive it, you see it with that answer. You could send them the donation request.
Yeah, well, what I was thinking was when you hit submit, you get a confirmation response, that says thank you for.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I have links on there that send them actually, back to someplace else.
I
I
see.
don't think that you can embed anything on that confirmation,
Oh,
but you could say, please make a donation, click here and have that go to another. So that
That's
it's
a good
all in
idea.
the same workflow. It's not all on the same page, but it's all in the same workflow.
Yeah, that is an
Oh.
idea. I will say that the confirmation email that would go out just goes out to all that, or I will say, if you specify that the person filling out the form should receive the email, then regardless of if they do want to make a donation or not, they'll receive the confirmation email.
email, but not the response on the website. And the email would not show the donation then, right? They would get something separate for the donation.
Hi, Tom, can I?
Right, they would get, so the confirmation email is the confirmation that they would
Oh.
receive after, after the membership. So let's say they're going through membership, they submit it, then they receive a confirmation of you have filled out the membership form. I'm not sure if that's where you wanted to put the donate link, but okay. So then that's just the email that they would receive. And then I just wanted to say also about the embedding, I believe that the embedding isn't possible. Well, it's probably just not a recommended thing because email programs might be in plain text, or they might not be using HTML to interpret the email message. So embed code may not be interpreted as it should when someone is opening it in their email. So I think that's why it doesn't accept it.
Email. I'm only talking about interaction on the website. So when they click the pay button, or actually when they click the submit button, it's actually not the pay button because I have to send them back to pay.
Mhm.
But when they click submit, then you get a response on the website where you can say, thank you for submitting this form or whatever. And I've put on that the link that goes to the page where the PayPal is.
I see. Okay. So the confirmation page on the website.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So
And
yeah.
then when we send them, we can, put both, their payment and their donation on the same page. Does that make sense?
Yes, so once a person fills out the form, it's like this page here where membership payment, this is where I've landed after I click submit. This is the same idea where you would have an option for paying paying your membership, and then another option for just donating. So
Exactly.
yeah, that can be done. The only downside to that is that if let's say someone decides to go with one, oh, that's good. If it opens up in a new browser, then that's perfect. If
Right.
it's gonna, just so that it gives them the option to do both
And then
if they
it
want to
comes
do
back,
both.
and then they can do donate. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think by default, PayPal buttons are probably opening in a new window, but just make sure that if that's your option.
They are.
Awesome.
At least on ours.
Just a warning for any folks in the future if that is an option. But yeah, that is a great way just to remind folks that there's other ways to support.
Yeah, it's just a little, hey, you want to throw in a little extra cash for us. I mean,
Right.
pretty much everything you do has that on there. Every nonprofit says, you want to add a little more?
Mhm.
Yeah, leave a tip. You're like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
So Anne Marie, so so on that thank you page or whatever it's called, confirmation page, is that something that we can change and maybe put a link to join or to donate, or do you have to do that?
No, that's something that you can do. Let's jump to one. I hopefully have, actually I have some on here.
It's also, after you pay, you can tell where you want them, where you want them to go, what page comes after that, after they pay. And you could go to the donate page.
Oh yeah, so through PayPal, it does ask you, where do you want folks to land if they cancel their transaction, or where do you want folks to land if they have finish a successful transaction? You can have them land in 2 different places or however you want to do it. But yeah, you could just have them land on the donate, or you could have a special donate page that's just for folks that just joined or whatever it is. But here I am on a web form. I'm going to go to web form. And this leads me to form settings. This is so I can get to the confirmation message. So this is the box here. Confirmation message is what you want to look for. When you have an empty confirmation message paragraph box, that means that what is displaying on your current confirmation page is very generic. It's like, thank you, your submission has been received. So this is the default that appears, but let's go back and I'm just gonna add, what did we say we wanted to do? Let's add a link. Thank you, please consider donating. And I am just going to add a button. So I'm adding the word so I can add the link. I'm going to make my life easy and use the link to content button. This allows me to find it, you know, the exact page that I want by its title. And it's kind of hard to see because I have my screen zoomed in. There we go. So now I can choose it and then it drops in that node and I insert. So that's a quick and easy way to find content within my own site. And then the last thing, I just want to style it as a button. And that's good enough for me. Okay. Another option too is to have the redirection location land somewhere else. Right now, the confirmation page is where it lands, and that's where we're going to see this message. If we set it to a custom URL, we could have it land on a page outside of our site. We could have it land on a separate page that we've customized for the, confirmation of this form. I'm just going to leave that as default. And I'll go ahead and save that as is. All right, so the form itself didn't get changed, but now we're going to see my confirmation page now has the little button.
Oh,
And you'll notice it changes sites. I belong to several sites, so that's the reason why it only gave me options for one specific site versus the one I was on. If that is, happening in your case, if you do belong to more than one league, then we can look into that and figure that out. But most webmasters do not have that issue.
But what form are you doing this to? The join form, I mean, in my case, I had a form where they put in all their information and then a payment comes separately and then you go off to PayPal. So what form are you playing with here with the confirmation
This
page?
is just a contact us form, but again, it's just an example. I wouldn't expect, I don't know. It is up to you if you consider that a good idea, putting a donate button after a contact form. I was just doing it merely for the example.
Okay, but in what we're trying to solve though is after they pay, right? After they pay for their membership. So you would probably be in the domain of PayPal, right? Rather than.
Yeah. So yeah, right now I'm not going to go through that, but yeah, as we had said before, PayPal would be the way to set that up, and it would be setting up a redirect location. And we do have a session that we spent on PayPal. I think that there was a little talk of that. We didn't consider back then the donate page being a place to land back on, which would have been a good idea. But yeah, it's one of the steps in creating your buttons.
And you
what
probably would want it to be able to take advantage of the fact that they already filled in this membership form, because the regular donate one, at least mine, has a form to fill out where they would be repeating that information that they already filled in for the membership form. You know what I'm saying?
that's a good, yes.
Yeah. So
I don't know if ours does.
if you're taking them from PayPal back to your own donate form, then they are needing to, they're required to fill out a second form.
But I think you're better off making a special one for this case.
A special button.
Yeah, I mean, have them go to a different donate page, not the standard one, but one
Oh,
where
I
it's
see.
assumed you've already paid for your membership.
And maybe, yeah, maybe, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a way to, I guess if they just provide their name, then you know to tie that to, you know, the other record that has their name, and that other record has their personal information through PayPal.
Right.
PayPal will send you, along with the payment, who did the paying. So we don't really need to capture any additional information.
Right. It's right there. You already have it.
Along with the money.
Okay, so then it sounds like if this is the idea to go from the membership form to then donate, I think this condensed donate form is probably the best idea. Less frustration from the, you know, member/donor. And then, like you guys have said, you already have the information, so.
And for the people paying by check, you probably just want to say, please feel free to add a little more.
Well, our form actually has, you know, the join, and then on the bottom, it'll have information about giving to either of the accounts.
Uh-huh.
And
Nice.
if you could have a question at the beginning saying, did you just renew your membership? And if they say yes, then all they'd have to do is fill out their name, because you already have their information on the form. That'd be the only thing.
Yeah, that's another way to do it.
Yeah, and that way too, you can, like how we were saying with the conditionals, if you wanted to unrequire certain fields, depending on if someone does check that box, then that's something you can play around with. And that's does anybody want to see those conditionals?
Maybe that's something for next session.
Yeah.
I would be
Because you-
continuing this.
Yeah, and we can delve in deeper to web forms for that as well then.
Thank you.
Is
Yeah,
there next session in 2 weeks?
Yes, so our regular schedule is back in play. Let me pull up our page.
So August 12th then.
Oh, I can't go to that one.
Yeah, August 12th. Oh,
It's
no.
my birthday. I can't.
Oh, yay.
Well, what a better way to celebrate your birthday.
I already have a date.
Oh,
Nice. You didn't want to have a date with what, how many are we? 8 of us?
Well, it'd be fun.
Well, we'll sing happy birthday and you can see us on recording.
Oh,
There you go.
okay, then I want happy birthday too, because my birthday's the day before.
Oh,
I love
happy-
it. We'll have to
So
see
it's
twice.
really going to make it a wonderful birthday week to be able to see all of you.
Nice.
Sure.
Well, thank you, ladies. Thanks,
Thank you.
Maurice.
Thank you.
Yes, thank
Thank
you
you.
all. All right, see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you.